stretched endlessly across
To the
sky.
shadows we walk through.
Heavy like a curtain made of storm clouds and forgotten sins. The moon hid behind the smoke, and the wind carried whispers that didn't belong to the living. Everything felt suspended, as if the world was holding its breath, waiting for something it couldn't name. The city below was a universe of broken promises. Neon signs flickered like dying stars. Cars hissed down wet asphalt, and distant voices blended into a constant hum that only the sleepless understood. We moved through the streets with the confidence of people who had learned long ago that fear was a luxury. Our coats billowed with each gust of wind. Our footsteps sink like drums in a ritual older than any law. People saw us without looking, felt us without speaking. They stepped aside, not out of respect, but because instinct itself refused to stand in our way. The night belonged to us, not because we demanded it, but because we were carved from the same darkness that rooted it. The old opera house had been abandoned for decades. Its curtains torn, its chandeliers hollow, its grand stage covered in dust that sparkled faintly when stray beams of moonlight slipped through the cracked ceiling. That's where we gathered, not because it was safe, nothing in our world was, but because it was forgotten, and forgotten places listened. They never betrayed secrets. One by one the crew entered the hall, boots echoing, eyes searching, heart steady. There was Vesper, the silent strategist with silver rings on every finger, and a mind sharper than broken glass. He didn't talk unless he had to, he didn't smile unless it was too late for someone else. Then came Rook, a heavy presence wrapped in leather and shadows, with tattoos that told stories he never repeated. He walked like a storm wearing human skin. After him, the twins arrived, Echo and Ember, mysterious, unpredictable, always finishing each other's sentences and always 2 steps ahead of anyone who thought they could guess their next move. And finally the boss, not by name but by aura, tall, calm, with an expression carved from stone and experience, eyes like midnight oceans, a quiet that felt like power. We stood in a circle beneath the broken chandelier, listening to the wind swirl through the old balcony seats. This city's changing, the boss said, voice low, steady. But change doesn't scare us, it warns us, and warnings are gifts. No one responded, we knew what he meant. Rival crews rising, rumors drifting across the docks, new alliances forming like storm clouds in the distance. The world was shifting, and we weren't planning to be spectators. honeysuckled. That's why the city listens to you. A metal case changed hands, not filled with weapons, not filled with money, but filled with something far more dangerous. Information, maps, locations, patterns, names whispered in the dark. Movements hidden from daylight. The figure leaned close. You're not the only ones planning for what's coming. Their footsteps vanished into the echoing void of the underpass before anyone could answer. But the message remained unsettling, uncertain, electric. Could they fully walk through the silent city? We continue through the silent city. We continue through the silent city. We continue through the city. We continued through the city in single file, the pavement reflecting our silhouettes like a parade of moving shadows. Every alleyway had its own pulse, every rooftop watched, every block carried a memory. We passed the old clock tower, its hands frozen in time since the night it burned. People said it was haunted. We just said it was honest. Further down we crossed through the abandoned train yard. Rusty rails sang under the pressure of the cold wind. Empty train cars creak, almost as if they wanted to speak but have forgotten how. The boss stopped suddenly, lifting a hand.